Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm your friend and host Uttam Chaudhary and you have started to watch my channel Excel to Excellence. Now in the series of Excel Quick Buys, today we are going to talk about something very interesting called 3D formulas. Now this 3D formulas is really useful when you are compiling data from multiple sheets or the multiple workbooks of the same template, and this multiple sheets can range between say 50 or 100 different sheets that you have to put together. That is where 3D formula really comes handy. It really reduces your time, and you will not believe this can really be very dynamic as well. So before we continue, do subscribe my channel, do send your comments, and do not miss to press on the notification button so that as soon as I drop any new video, you do not miss out anything. Thank you so much. Now, before we continue, let's understand this sheet a little bit. Now, at the bottom, you are seeing four sheets called sales for the northern region. Then we have some sales for southern, east, and west regions. These four regions, we have some sales data. And we'll talk in a while about this intro tab. And this all regions is a tab where we need to consolidate and put the data together using 3D formulas. Yeah. So what we are going to do is say in a traditional way, if you have to kind of put the 3D formulas or if you have to consolidate the data, the you can actually go over, say, click on, say, well, if you can go here, click on this, and then add the plus sign, go to next, then plus, then go next plus and next plus. Sorry, that's what we wanted to. Let me do that one more time. My apologies. So we go here till south and then we click on this. Then we have a plus sign and then I click on this one and close the bracket and say yes. So you see that you are able to get the total. Imagine if this would have been like the sheet would be ranging, say, about 25 or 50 different sheets that you have to add. How much of that a job would that be? It's going to be quite a humongous job for yourself. And this is a plain, simple table which you are seeing, a small set of data. If you have a template which has about, say, 50 or 100 different fields to be joined together out of these 50 or 100 different sheets, you can very well imagine how tedious that would be. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to introduce something called 3D formulas. And how does 3D formula works? You have to be very careful to look at this. So what we are going to do is we are first going to the first sheet called sales north. So when I go ahead and select this, you see how the formula is getting constructed, how the reference is getting constructed. So what I can do is, now if you look on here, I have to pretty much do the sum for all the four different tabs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce sum here. But however, if you see the name here, because and this name is between a single quotes, which means sales space north is between single quotes here. And why do we have single quotes? Because there's a space in between. Yeah. Now, say for example, if I have to say join all the different sheets from here till all the way till sales west, what do I need to do really? If I go ahead and kind of want to make this happen, the 3D formula would be I would put a colon here. Then I would go to sales west. Now, if you see here, this is again putting a single quotes between sales and west, right? So what I'm going to do is, since I have to put it between one single quotes. So this from sales north till sales west, all the way till here, we are good. And then all we need is just one semicolon and the reference of B2, which is unique across all the four sheets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and close this. So let's review this one more time. What I've done is I have included sales north separated by a colon till sales west, all the way from sales north till sales west. What I'm all the thing that you have to do is just keep sales north separated by colon till sales west between one single quotes. You don't have to put multiple quotes, and then after that you put a exclamation mark and then B2, because B2 is uniform across all the four sheets. Yeah, and when you press this, what do you see really? Yeah, it all comes in one go. So sales north, south, east, and west all have been put together without any problem at all. Yeah, and if I pull this all the way down, you will see all of them has been joined together. You really don't have to go doing plus 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 for 50 different sheets. You have to do is take the first sheet and the last sheet, follow this pattern. It can get trickier at times, but then just look at the way. What we are doing here is we are putting the first sheet separated by a colon. Then we are saying second sheet again and put this between just one single quotes, and then what we have to do is include a colon and say press 3, which is the address in here, and we close it. And what do you see? Just the way while we are using the sum formula, we give the range. This works like a range really. Yeah, it brings a value just down there, right? Now, if I have to do a sum, obviously, the easier way would have been I would have just gone and selected the whole thing out here. This would have been just as easier. But let me also give you the show you how we can do the sum using the 3D formula. Yeah. So what we are going to do here is we are going to be say doing sum in here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this guy here, yeah, and then put a colon in between, yeah, and I would go to west and just add sales west in there. The extra thing that I can see here is this extra colon, the exclamation mark, and the quotes, single quotes. Otherwise, you have rest of the things looking as good, yeah. You can just close it, press enter. Let's see where I've done the mistake in this case. Have I left anything in between? Yeah, there we go. I've left a quotes here, and that's the reason it's not recognizing. I've removed that quote in between, and you see it's working just like a champion. Yeah. Okay. Now, the good part about this is, say, if you have four sheets, similarly, you might be working with say 25 sheets, and you've got the data into your template from 25 different places. You've already made your sheet. Says there's somebody who has sent you his template late, and by the time you've already made your your report, and you feel a little irritated that you have to do all the work again to include the 26th sheet in the report. And so it's damn easy. Now the good part is anything between sales north, which is this sheet, and this sheet, if you drop any sheet in between that, you don't have to do anything. It will automatically pick the data. You don't have to really do anything at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy of this, move it at the end, give the name like sales uh, northeast, just for the reference. Yeah. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this a real big number so that you are able to recognize how the things are working. So I'm going to drop this between sales north and sales west. I have to go ahead and just drop it here. See what happens. In all regions, you are able to see the data. So it has actually taken this sheet along with it. And that's the reason you have seen that the sum of the data has increased really with big number. You just move this out and throw it outside the range and you see the number is gone. So of this is the magic of 3D formula. But otherwise, you have to be very careful that if you have something which you're not willing to include, if you throw that in between, that's going to screw up your total. So just be sure that you have to it comes with an advantage as well as disadvantage. The disadvantage is that you should be careful of bringing in any sheet in between the range which is for the purpose. If you're bringing anything which is of no use, then that is going to screw up your data. But if you have missed out anything which you were to bring into the report, then obviously you don't need to do anything. You just need to drop the sheet and the total automatically adds up. All right. Okay, brilliant. So what I'm going to do is now I am going to show you something different. What I'm going to do is um, well, I'm gonna throw this sheet in between, yeah, and there's something that it automatically adds up really. But say for example, if I have to, I'm deleting sales northeast. Now I'm working with these four sheets. This is something introduction, some line items in between, and obviously, I don't really want to add this up. So there's something that you can use in 3D formula called wildcards. Yeah, and how do you use those wildcards? Let me show that to you. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do sum. Yes, okay. And in this case, I really don't have to go to any of the sheet. It's just damn easy. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a single quote here. And now if you look at all the sheets, sales north, sales south, sales east, and sales west, there's one thing common between these four sheets, which is the word sales. And I would want to use that as a wildcard. I include as a wildcard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say star and then type sales. Yeah, put the star back so that it is able to take anything which is after. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and close this quotes. Yeah, and bring in a exclamation mark, and we'll say this cell is B2. which is where it is there for all the ones. So I'll say B2 and I will go ahead and close this. Now see what happens. It automatically is able to add up the data between 4 different sheets. The only thing that it doesn't take intro, because intro doesn't have the word sales in it. Yeah. Now, if you look here, how the formula has been worked out, what it does is it makes one range of B2 from first north and south, and then second range it has been able to make between east and west. And then if you look here, when I'm selecting this, it is showing number one. When selecting this, it is showing number two. So it has made this as one unit and this one as a second unit. And that's the reason you are able to see it has just skipped out intro, right? But in this case, the flip side to the disadvantage is that when you are dropping any, say, any new sheet in between, you have to be very sure that you are dropping between the range given here, not something in between. So if you drop it in between, just excluding the range, like north and south is one range and east and west is one range, another range. If you're just dropping in between here, it would not get calculated in either of them. But if you drop it between east and west, it will get included, as well as if you drop it between north and south, it will get included. So if you see, it is actually creating two different ranges. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down and it will automatically add you there. Now, if I have to do the sum in the same way, can we do that? Yes. Let us give it a try. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and kind of make a star. Yeah. And then I would say uh, give the name as sales, give a star here. Yeah. And then, oops, I missed to put them between the quotes. So I'm going to put them between the quotes now. And then I'm going to give a exclamation mark. And then I would say B2 colon B13, which is the range we are talking. See what happens. It is able to do the sum for you. And especially what it does is it is summing between the ranges, this as one range, as one number, and this one again as a second range and second number. Yeah, makes things easy. So good part is that you can work this out. And the good, so say if you, as I mentioned earlier, if you have 40, 50 or 100 different sheets that you want to join together, you really don't have to bother about that, how the data is, where it is coming from. You have to go each and every sheet and kind of join them together. Your job is done. You just one formula, 3D in nature, and it joins up all the sheet together, and you are super fast in delivering this outcome. All right, so that's pretty much for the video. Hope you like this. Hope this video was useful. Do let me know through your comments. Do like my video. Do subscribe my channel and click on the bell icon, the notification button, so that as soon as I drop any new video, you do not miss out anything. Thank you so much.